What do you get when you combine Ash versus Evil Dead and Supernatural?
Yes, science!
No, you get the Bondsman. And in this video, we're gonna break down the Bondsman, the ending, the mythology around Lilith and the seven fallen angels, as well as what's going to happen in season 2. And with that being said, guys, let's just start with the ending of the Bondsman season 1. Did Lilith possess Marianne in order to use Hub as an insurance policy against the devil? I think so, because not only did she possess Marianne, but at the end of the season, she also took over the entire diner, including Hub's son Cade. And we know once Lilith sings her song, all the men around her kill themselves and the women become hypnotized and entranced servants of Lilith. But the season ended right before she had everyone in the diner kill themselves, when she propositioned Hub with the opportunity to work for her in order to stop the devil. I think this is very important because I feel like Lilith realizes that Hub is willing to work with her, and there's something unique about Hub. I don't know if you guys noticed, but throughout the season, even though Hub was pulled back from the dead by the devil to fight these demons, there must be something unique about Hub as to why they chose him out of anybody else they could have chosen. And I think Lilith knows that, which is why she made the offer to Hub in the first place, because she knows Hub is willing to work with her. We saw earlier in the finale how Hub made a deal with Lilith already, where he, I feel like, sacrificed humanity in order for him not to go to hell. I'm not sure how that works exactly, because yes, in this scenario, Cheryl is alive, so therefore Hub never killed her and he's never condemned to hell. But at the same time, I think if you sacrifice the entirety of the human race for your own selfish needs, I don't know, I'm not a theologist, but I think that might qualify you to go to hell, because you essentially doomed humanity for your own selfish interests, which I think can be changed depending on the character of your soul, like how it's telling you to don't forget to click the subscribe button. And that kind of gives us a temperature on just what kind of character and man Hub is. We saw it earlier in the season. We saw it especially during the flashback when he first accidentally killed Cheryl in the first place. So Hub as our main character has always been morally gray. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's not a hero per se, but at the same time, he's not an evil man. He just thinks about his own self-interest, I feel like, more so than anybody else's. And that's something not only the devil thought he could work with, but Lilith as well, which is why she propositioned him. We already know Lilith is not a regular demon. She's one of the shackled ones. The shackled ones are the angels that sided with Lucifer during the war against heaven, even though Lilith herself did not necessarily side with Lucifer, but it was because of who she was and how she was one of God's favorite angels, which is a new interpretation of the mythology of Lilith. And I'm gonna call it mythology. I know some people might believe in it, no offense, but in the mythology of heaven and hell, Lilith always plays a crucial part of that story. While the name Lilith and Lilith herself doesn't necessarily appear in biblical scripture or text, it is part of the ancient Jewish mythology where Lilith first existed, and she does share some of the same mythological connections, in which she is a creation of God with a unique music affinity. But the difference between Lilith in the show and Lilith in real life was, in the original legend, Lilith left Adam after she refused to become subservient to him and would not return to the Garden of Eden. Instead, she ran off with the Archangel Samael. The Archangel Samael is another name for the devil, aka Lucifer. So we see how it kind of ties into the story, but the difference in the show being Lilith herself wasn't Adam's wife, but she was an angel of the Lord, and the Lord favored her over Samael, aka the devil. The devil here also had a one-sided crush on her, so he took her with him as his own prize, which is why he tried to keep her locked up in hell with him. And because of that, he corrupted her, and that's why she was locked in with the other archangels. I'm curious to see though in next season, do you think more archangels will show up? Do you think we're gonna see the devil himself? Because at this point, if Lilith actually gets what she wants and Hub works with her, which I think he will, because Hub already made a deal with her in which she brought Cheryl back and he would not be condemned to hell. He did that because he wanted to be with his family. And in order for his family to still be together, he has to work for Lilith. Lilith has Cade under control. Lilith has his mother hypnotized, but more specifically, Lilith has possessed Mary Ann. And one of the most crucial things about possession that they made us sure that we knew throughout this entire season, if you guys are remembering, is the fact that the demons in the Bondsman do not possess living beings. You have to be dead in order for them to possess you. That means Mary Ann is dead. They made it a point to drill that into us at the start of every episode after episode 2. I don't know if you guys remember. At the start of episode 2, we saw the first demon possession that was with the pastor. And when we saw the other 4 elemental demon possessions, all of them were killed before they were possessed, which means that Lilith had to have killed Mary Ann in order to possess her. And I think Hub knows this, but he's willing to work with her because even though we know Mary Ann is dead, in the show, it's been established that even though you're dead, you can come back. And I'm talking outside of Hub. We saw Midge was brought back by the devil to help Hub. More specifically, we saw Lilith bring Cheryl back to life and leave her body. So if Hub can find a way to work with Lilith, I think Lilith would be willing to bring back Mary Ann if Hub helps her out. And even if he doesn't, because we don't know if Hub's gonna work with her or not, but if he decides to switch sides and works with the devil can bring Mary Ann back, just like they brought Hub back. The question is, will she have the mark of the beast if the devil's the one that brings her back? That's the interesting part. I feel like we would have got way more answers had Hub read the manual, because so much information is in there, but because he never read it, we didn't get any detailed information. But I do remember his mom read it. I don't know if you guys remember, his mom was reading it early on when Midge first brought it to them and was explaining the situation to them. So I think they might have something in there that helps him out with it. But because Hub never looks inside of it, we'll never have any idea if there's any sort of loophole there. But the way the show ended, we know there's going to be a second season, which is why I'm so curious as to where they can go from here. Lilith does not want to release any more of the demons. However, if she wants to fight Lucifer, she might have to, which is why the show reminds me so much of Supernatural, especially the good seasons of Supernatural, the first 4 seasons where they had to fight the angels of heaven. The correlation is there. And if they're following a similar pattern, which they seem to be by opening the cages that kept Lucifer locked in, is the same thing as opening the cages of the fallen ones, I see the similarities there. So they can go the supernatural route, but I don't think they're going to go that way. I think this is the hero's journey for Hub, and seeing Hub finally sacrifice his own happiness might be the key to stopping all this. But because he chose the selfish route, I feel like until he sacrifices and realizes maybe, just maybe, him and Mary Ann are not meant to be, and that's what the world needs to thrive, that might be the key to him actually saving the world and saving his wife and kid. Because I think that might be the actual theme of the show. Because if we tie it not just with Hub, but if you look at Midge's storyline, Midge is only involved because she wanted to save her son, essentially sacrificing her soul for her kid. While Midge sacrificed her soul for her kid, Hub on the flip side was willing to sacrifice everyone else for his, which is kind of messed up because he knows Midge sacrificed her soul for her child. And if Lilith brings out Lucifer and Armageddon happens on Earth, everyone essentially is going to die as humans get caught in the middle of the battlefield. And I think Hub knows that, which is why he's going to initially align with Lilith, which might bring Lucky back next season, because I don't think we're done with Lucky. Lucky was killed by Lilith, but we already established in the show that even if you're dead, you can come back. And the fact that Lucky is the perfect agent of chaos, I think he's going to come back working for Lucifer. He's one of the few people who actually got the better of Hub, because he's the one who hired the Earls earlier in the season to kill Hub in the first episode. So he has some experience in actually taking him down. So I could see him coming back as a demon, but that's just my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, peace.